167-pound class. We are down to the nitty-gritty, so to speak, for River Valley. Bob Hackbart, 27-0 from Hartland Arrowhead, a senior. Marty Loy, River Valley, 29-3-1, a junior. Marty Loy has to not only win this match, but he has to pin Bob Hackbart if River Valley is to tie for the team championship. DC Everest leads it by 6 points, 81-75. That's Marty Loy in the black uniform with the white trim at the right of your screen. At the left, Bob Hackbart, unbeaten in 27 matches. He is wearing blue with black and white trim.
Hackbart's a very... Loy was able to turn and scored the takedown. That was a terrific move by Marty.
Marty Loy on top. Oh, out quickly. Good move, Bob Hackbart, showing excellent quickness. 2-1. Loy leads it.
Loy's done a real fine job in the tournament on his feet. I think if he's going to defeat Loy or Hackbart, it's going to have to be on his feet first, and then he'll have to look for that fall that'll tie the team score between River Valley and Schofield.
Well, he's wrestled very well here in the tournament at the Fieldhouse. Although he got third at Janesville last week in the sectionals, he actually got surprised.
I've been told that he had the flu last week, Marsh, and actually did not wrestle his last match, just accepted third place. He really wasn't feeling well enough to wrestle his way back to second.
1 minute remains in the first period at 167 pounds. Bob Hackbart and Marty Loy. Hackbart from Hartland Arrowhead, his coach Andy Marks. He's been there 4 years. And again, the coach at River Valley, Rick Lovinger, looking for his first state champion from that high school. They were ranked #1 by Crossface Magazine in the final, winning the state team title by 6 points. 35 seconds remaining in this match. Loy leads it 2-1.
I'm sure Marty Loy is well aware of the fact that River Valley needs his fall if they're going to tie for that team championship. That's a lot of pressure to put on a junior in high school, Marsh.
Well, it certainly is a big challenge for him because Bob Hackbart is unbeaten in 27 matches, and he looks like he's ready to wrestle. They both do. 11 seconds remaining in the first period. 2 seconds, 1, that's the end of the first period. Loy in the down position.
Once again, like most of the River Valley wrestlers, Marty Loy is able to gain his feet and escapes, and the score is now 3-1. I might point out that Bob Hackbart defeated last year's 155-pound runner-up Eric Gunderson from Stoughton in the semifinals, or in the quarterfinals, and then won again 5-3 in the semis. That's pretty tight wrestling to get into the finals of this state final tournament.
Absolutely, and Loy won his quarterfinal match against Mark Conrad of New London 9-2 and beat Jim Fronberry of Brookfield Central this afternoon 9-5. Both young men. Loy is just a junior, Hackbart a senior. Loy leads at 3-1 right now with 1:15 remaining in the second period.
That's really a test of a young man's mental poise to be in the state championship finals the first time that you're in the tournament. I really think that these two young men can be complimented to go all the way to the finals their first year in the tournament.
Well, this was one of the things they said about River Valley coming in here with their wrestlers. None of them had been really to the tournament. A couple of them lost in the first round last year, but they lacked the experience.
You'll note referee Gene Harms has just warned Marty Loy from River Valley for stalling. Apparently, Gene Harms did not feel that he was working hard enough to secure a takedown and was merely protecting his 2-point lead.
43 seconds remaining in the second period. Loy leads at 3-1. Your Wisconsin bankers remind you that your money does more working through a full-service bank. .33 seconds remaining in the second period. Marty Loy of River Valley, Bob Hackbart of Hartland Arrowhead.
neither of the young men are really aggressive enough, Marsh, and I feel that it's going to cost them. Gene Harms is the type of official that does call stalling. And I think if the action doesn't pick up, somebody's going to lose a point.
Well, both of these young men know each other because they both were in the Badger Wrestling School the last 2 years, so it's tough to wrestle when you face somebody before and you know what they're going to do.
Very difficult, Marsh. Sometimes it just comes down to who has the better day or who's the most mentally ready on that particular evening.
We're just about out of time in the second period. The clock shows no time. The overhead clock shows no time. The clock at the side of the mat shows 1 second.
Now the two mat judges, Orville Britton and Dan McKinney, have gone to the edge of the mat and they want to talk to Gene Harms. And I think what referee Orville Britton is saying is that Marty Loy is stalling and he ought to be penalized.
Well, it's like going to the pitcher's mound and they're making a decision now probably on where they're going to have a sandwich after the match is finished. One very costly. Now it's 3-2. Loy leads it. And if Hackbart can get out of there or reverse him, we'll see a change in the point total. Loy trying to put him down. Third and final period. Tries to switch.
It'll be interesting to see what Marty Loy's strategy is now, whether or not he's going to try to control Bob Hackbart and win 3-2, or whether or not he'll release him and try to take him down again. He has scored 1 takedown, but he has also lost a stalling point on his feet.
I don't think he gave him that point, but he got it anyway. Now it's 3-3. Whoever gets the next takedown is probably going to be the winner at 167 pounds.
Something we neglected to mention, Marsh, when Marty Loy was penalized 1 point, Bob Hackbart was also warned for stalling. So the next stalling warning on either of them or the next stalling call will result in a point for the other wrestler.
1:15 on the clock in the third and final period. We're all tied up 3-3. We've had no overtime so far tonight, but that could happen.
Yes, it could.
Marty Loy of River Valley. Bob Hackbart of Hartland Arrowhead. We're under a minute, 54 seconds remaining, and they're off the mat.
You'll note, Marsh, the two mat judges again looking across the mat at each other. Orville Britton really likes to see the young men work, and he probably calls stalling as tough as anyone in the state. He's one of the mat judges, and Gene Harms likes to keep him busy too, so I think it would be wise of both of these young men if they picked up the action a little bit.
35 seconds remaining in the third and final period. Bob Hackbart takes the shot but doesn't get any leg. And they're off the mat again with 25 seconds remaining. 25 seconds left. Marty Loy needs not only to win the match, but he needs a pin here for River Valley to tie for the team championship, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. 20 seconds left. If somebody can get a takedown here in the final seconds of the third and final period, they'll win it. Well, they're pushing each other now. It's just a battle of strength. Loy tries to turn him. 5 seconds.
I think we're going to have an overtime, Marsh.
That's it. Time has run out, and we're going to our first overtime of the night.